All right. So Lane Kiffin to the Jets. Oh, okay. Bye. Welcome to IT Live presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. I'm Joe Cook. That's Ian Boyd. That's Justin Wells. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and go join Inside Texas right now. Join for just $1. Use that first link in our description or use that QR code right by Arch's head right there. Can't wait to see you all over there. Texas Longhorns recruiting info. Lots of stuff happening there. Got a decommit, got some official visits, got a lot happening. Playoff push, SEC championship push, all different stuff. Great time to join. So come join, just $1. Use that link in the description or use that QR code that you see. We'll put it back on in a little bit. So today, gentlemen, got to say Rex St. Charles, breaking news. Roaster, thank you for joining. Mike Hargis, thank you. Golly, did not know we would get a Chamillionaire reference this early. So the best lyricist there is, in my opinion. So we got a lot going on today. But Ian, what you wrote this morning is pretty straightforward. It is what's going on or what's up with the Texas pass defense. And there is a person that you're going to see on your screen that I think a lot of people may want to attribute his absence as the reason behind some of the struggles. And you say, yeah, 6 of one thing, half dozen of the other.
Yeah, it does not help. It has not helped that Taft has been out. I think Taft and McDonald being out was apparently the straw that broke the camel's back against Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt threw for nearly 400 yards in that game. And they're not even really a passing team. So there's like an obvious something is wrong when that is happening. What exactly is wrong? I tried to describe and break down and get at, but Taft being out is definitely not helping. I think we can at least say that.
So you dive into the numbers, and I'm glad. I don't know if y'all saw what RT wrote yesterday, but he highlighted that the turnover numbers, once you get past the G5 games, have been okay, maybe not even good, maybe not even great, and they're basically all belonging to Anthony Hill. So not only do you see these defenses maintain possession of, or these offenses maintain possession of the ball, but then Justin, you look at these stats, and I'll zoom in on them as best I can. The difference between Taft being out there against power conference teams and Taft not being out there against power conference teams is kind of night and day.
Yes, I would agree with that assessment. It's stark. And we talked about this before we got on the air. Like, the starters get a lot of run in practice. The backups don't. For some odd, strange reason, they don't get a lot of reps. And when they do and they mess up, they really get hammered for it, like really hardcore hammered for it. And so, Michael Taft and Jelani McDonald make such a big difference. We knew Taft would make a difference, but they have depth at safety. Well, man, after Williams, man, it's inexperienced. And there's a couple guys back there that I think have a ton of upside. Look, I love Phil Sames' athleticism. I love Jordan Johnson-Rebel's cerebral. Like, that guy is one of the smartest kids in the program. And then you got Jonah Williams, who's got just oozes talent. But man, you got to work. You got to work with the twos, guys. The twos have to get reps. You got to coach them up. You can't just. I think Akina's a little spoiled because he's got a quarterback at safety in Michael Taft that essentially runs a lot of everything they do. And the adjustments go through him. Guys, you got to work on the backups. You got to give those guys some run. That's why I think Sark was so adamant in saying, we've got 2 weeks to like clean up stuff at every phase of the game. I guarantee you the safety room was part of that on the back of his mind when he was saying that.
And one of we're not really talking about the full DB core here, Ian. Like, Grayson Littleton did what he needed to do on Saturday. Cade Phillips played very well. They targeted him, and when you get targeted, there's volume. But he made some plays. Jalen Gilbo, that bust wasn't on him. Like the safety's been the issue when it's not 25 or when it's not 4 and 16.
Yeah, safety's been one of the biggest points of failure for sure. I think there are other issues with the pass defense, but they make it work when they have the starting safeties. I did watch when I was trying to figure out what to write. I was trying to break down before I wrote this article. I was trying to break down Jonah Williams' play in the final drives when he came in, and I regret to inform everyone that Jonah Williams looks like he has no idea what he's doing.
None.
Now he moves around back there like he looks different. Like the athleticism, everything you want to see is there, but he's kind of chasing stuff out there, hoping to make an impact and not like necessarily trusting his assignment or knowing exactly what it's supposed to be.
He looks like a freshman that played another sport in the spring.
Yeah, it looks like a guy that's not getting a ton of instruction. Is what it looks like. Yeah,
I won't say that, but not much.
So that's not great, guys. That's not great. Now they could try to catch up real quick next offseason, but everybody used to complain about how Terry Joseph and Blake Gideon would sub the safeties all the time in every game. Well, you don't do that, and all of a sudden, Diego Pavia is throwing for 400 yards on you because your backups don't know what they're doing. Paul Wadlington, in this section I wrote, Paul Wadlington had the greatest little coin term for this. When your safeties are not reliable and they're not in the right spots, they no longer are safeties. They become riskies. And Texas has a roster with a lot of riskies on it right now. And against Vanderbilt, I'd say that was one of the main problems. Not the only problem, but one of the main problems.
And one of the other things when you look at that defensive back core is, and I'm thinking of, at least in this scenario, Filsaime and Jonah, I think they both fit into this category. Those are guys who, when they showed up, everybody's raved about their athleticism. Filsaime was someone seen as like, okay, got to get his football acumen down. And that happens. That's not a problem. Jonah, he played the do-it-all position for Galveston Ball. He did it really well, did a lot at receiver, but those were two guys who, even at the 6A level, could get away with a lot with like just straight up athleticism. And they can still get away with a lot with straight up athleticism. But even against passing offense, like Mississippi State has a really good wide receiver core. Vanderbilt, when they were in that mode, it worked out pretty well for them. Like, you've got to be able to know where to go and know your assignment. Derek Williams, I put in a little bit different category because he's been in this system for several years. Like, that shouldn't be happening.
Right.
But you can see the learning curve for some of these guys. Even Filsaime, who's, I think, second year in the program? Does that sound right? So just still guys who still need to make sure that they're getting their assignments down.
There's two positions in football where we routinely overrate athletic and physical traits. Number one, quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Seen a million 5-star quarterbacks with special physical attributes fail because they don't know what to do. They don't know where to go with the ball. They don't even know which right skills to develop to help them. They don't know what they're looking at, etc. Number two is safety. Every year we get all caught up in length and how fast you are and your size to weight ratio. Like, not only is he 220 and not only does he run a 4.4, but he runs a 4.4 at 220 and he's going to be an amazing safety. Can you imagine?
Tyler Owens.
And then he's not. He's not. Almost never initially good because safety is such a cerebral position. Like, our best safety is Michael Taff. You think Michael Taff is winning the 40 when the safeties line up on the goal line and run sprints? No. He's not, but that's not what makes a good safety at all. And so, they've got all these guys that are Mr. Hypothetical, but if they don't know what to do, you're much better off with like a 4th, 5th year G5 transfer that runs a 4.7. That guy's going to be a way better safety for you than hypothetical Jonah Williams who has no idea what he's doing.
Yeah, getting to great safety film from high school, I think, is the most fun film to watch because you can see guys get to the right spot as fast as possible. Like, that is when you see that happening, it's just like that is a difference maker, and it's not just guys playing the deep post and quarterback just chunks it deep and you got a lot of time to run under the fly ball playing center field. Like when you're getting and meeting guys like on the slant and stuff like that is the best film to watch. You do highlight a couple plays where I think they're the Vanderbilt scoring plays. And let me get this one up. I'm curious on this one. I kind of felt like this one was one pre-snap and not post-snap. But who is that one on, Ian?
I mean, I think that's pretty fair. You got Texas drops into – we break this down on the deep dive film study that'll drop at noon today. But long story short, you see Eli Stowers as the receiver that's barely in frame on the right. And the middle linebacker blitzes off the edge. Brad Spence drops to play Will linebacker off the other edge. Ty Anthony Smith needs to move from Will linebacker to Mike linebacker and deny that easy throwing lane over the middle to the receiver that's barely in frame, which is actually tied into Eli Stowers. And he is nowhere near him. So that means no one is anywhere near Eli Stowers. He's completely uncovered. Running down the middle of the field, completely uncovered. And then some risky tackling technique behind it. But that was going to be a bad event for Texas no matter what.
And one thing I'll say here is like, I think Filsame's in the right spot. Like, because look, that guy's he's passing him off. Grayson Littleton's passing Filsame off to the guy behind him. Filsame's in the right spot, but Ty Anthony Smith doesn't get over as quick as he needs to, or is just misaligned to start, and that's an easy throw. He misses the tackle. Got to make that. But this one was won before the snap, I feel like.
I don't know if Filsame needs to necessarily be backing up, but he's got to cover the deeper of number 2.
Once that kid hits the second level, that becomes Filsame's guy. You want Ty Anthony Hill to be in that passing lane or even potentially reroute him if possible, but that's Filsame's guy.
Only when he's deep, though.
Right. No, right. But once he passes that second level,
he misses
his kid.
He misses the tackle, but he's just run. You can't cover that.
I wasn't worried so much about the tackle. Derek Williams looked like he came in to take a headshot, and it just didn't come well. I'm more worried about the positioning where they're standing, the leverage that Ty Anthony and Xavier had. That's what I care about.
Filsame should have been, I think, more flat-footed. It's like he's like backpedaling. It's like, dude, there's nothing behind you. That's it.
Right. And he's got a defender behind him. It's called the end zone.
Yeah.
Ian, you also get into – this isn't just a Vanderbilt thing. This was a Mississippi State thing as well where – and I thought that Texas was biting way too hard on the veer part of veer and shoot throughout the first half of this game. And you can see that here on this play. See, they're kind of jumping up a little bit and then, boom, window right there.
This is a lot of modern offense is designed to get this crosser running wide open behind the linebackers and in front of the safeties. And there's different ways you can account for it. You notice that the guy who's on the SEC logo is, I believe that's Jelani McDonald.
Yeah.
And he's positioned almost like, I'm going to go find the crosser. But then he sees the shallow.
He gets the shallow cross, not the deep cross.
He looks like he's looking for the deep crosser. Then he sees the shallow just run wide open in front of him and he bites down on it. And one of him or the weak linebacker need to be getting depth for that crosser. It's like, it does not matter that you see run action or whatever. You have to, it's the deep cross that will kill you. So that's what you have to prioritize. And neither of them do. And so there's like a breakdown in who's got what. And that leads to that wide open window over the middle.
And I understand respecting Brennan Thompson right there a little bit, but like you're saying, it's the deep crosser you have to worry about, because if he threw to Brennan Thompson and you can kind of see him right there on the 0, like there's Jelani, the corner's there, Phil Smee's kind of where the magnifying glass is. Like there are enough guys to, even with his elite speed, get to that point and prevent that type of gain on that play. But I mean, hey, they got coaches too. They got players too. It's just it is a good design that took advantage of.
Yeah, that running back held LaFau. I thought, because if LaFau can get a little bit in there, that would have helped too. But that running back, he was watching him.
So going back, what you're kind of talking about with the communication never really helped all that much, but you're saying, hey, sometimes you shouldn't need one guy to really be calling everything for you.
Yep. It's like it's a noble question. Like if Tapp is out there, is he communicating with those guys? Like, hey, you got to look for this. You got to do this. Remember, you got this. Even in between snaps, probably Taff has some value there. But again, your system can't depend on one walk-on being a coach on the field all the time.
He's not a walk-on anymore, Ian. Come on, man.
He was a walk-on. What is it?
Was past tense. I think once he became scholarship and All-American, he kind of washed that tag off. But I'm with you. Yeah, I get the gist of it, but come on, man. Taff hasn't been a walk-on in a long time.
I'm not disrespecting Taff. I know. I'm saying this go-getter can't be the only reason your defense is able to function.
He's smart. And, Rebel's smart back there. They've got some smart – Manny Muhammad's smart. They've got some smart DBs back there. They just need some run with those twos.
So this is kind of it's a general question, but it's a related question. Why are Texas DBs playing so far off the receivers?
It depends on what you mean by that, Kelvin. If you're talking about on the outside at corner – sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. A lot of times when they do, it's because they are responsible for a deep zone. And so they're trying to keep the defense in front of them, and they got to go match routes that get down the field so that you don't have something like when Eli Stowers went for a 67-yard touchdown. That was not the call on that specific play. Texas plays a lot of cover 3, and so the corners have to play. They have to be back. If you're talking about why the safeties are off of guys on the interior, like on that crossing route we just showed above, the safety is fine. The problem is that your linebackers aren't at the right depth, or the down safety isn't at the right depth. And then that's not a consequence of playing too far off. It's actually a consequence of playing too far up. Jet Rodriguez says, yeah, but not on 3rd and 2. Is there a problem with Texas giving up 3rd and 2s, or they're giving up too much ground underneath? I don't feel like that's been a thing.
I mean, crossing routes, but
on defense, Texas does really well on 3rd and 2. It's on offense where 3rd and 2 scares me.
Yeah, that's my impression. But even like 3rd and 2, first down is not the end of the world, but a touchdown is.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of that bend don't break philosophy that PK has.
Always.
Which is correct. For the most part.
Yeah. I remember I think Texas Tech had this like, we're gonna be a turnover defense. It's like, so you're depending on the bounce of the ball. Like that's a lot of what it boils down to. And then Nigel Robinson has a good question. What's Georgia's strength on offense? You kind of get into that. they're balanced and they usually aren't. That's kind of a weird thing. Like usually
they don't have one big offensive skill star at running back or receiver. They've actually, I think they may have one or two at tight end, but we don't always see those guys. But I think that's the difference. There's not one dominant guy. There's not a Lad McConkey. There's not a big time running back that a Trevor Etienne or something like that. Like they don't have that. I think that's why you see more balance, Joe.
Yeah, and go ahead.
I haven't watched them a ton. I feel like they may be a little bit of a their ranking in FEI, I think, is misleading. I don't think they're the best offense in the country.
It says they're the best offense in the country.
Yeah, doesn't say they're number one.
Their O-line is banged up, but Gunnar Stockton's been a hero in Athens this year.
They've been very good situationally.
Yes.
They spread the ball around.
You're mentally tough.
They run the ball well. They're balanced was a good way to put it. And it not just balanced run and pass, but balanced as in like they get Branch involved and gadget stuff and quick stuff. They have a couple of running backs. Their line has been pretty mauling, a little more back to Georgia standards where they can just run inside zone all day and just push you around. And Gunnar Stockton has 7 rushing touchdowns, so he converts a lot for them in key situations with the run game.
The one interesting thing I looked up with Gunnar Stockton is like he scrambles a good bit, but then he also like gets sacked on those scrambles, or just it's not like positive plays. Like Zach Branch is a little bit of like a little gadgety. They still have good tight ends. They have good receivers, but it's not, there's not one guy out there you're like, you can kind of see when things are heading a certain direction, especially when they try to put the ball into number one's hands. So
I hope they don't discover the tight ends in 2 weeks.
They won't.
Because those guys, that's a talented room, fellas.
Yeah. Before we keep going, got to show some love to our sponsor, and that is Academy Sports and Outdoors. Academy Sports and Outdoors proudly honors our brave military and first responders for everything you do to protect our nation and serve our local communities. We appreciate your unmatched dedication and countless sacrifices. And from October 19th through November 11th, so a few more days left, Academy is giving you a salute with 10% off your sports and outdoors purchases at your local Academy store and online at academy.com/discount. Exclusions do apply, but thank you to Academy for always being great to Inside Texas and to our veterans and first responders. Guys, we got a bye week, but there are a lot of games that make a difference in this college football playoff race. Want to start talking about some of those, as there's only so much we can talk about with Texas. We'll take some questions as well. But I kind of want to talk about something that Evan wrote the other day, just all the big games that are going to help sort out so many of these different playoff races.
De facto playoff elimination games, in a sense.
But first thing, do either of y'all have any big takeaways on the playoff rankings? Basically the 10, 11, 12 spot. I think everything in front of Texas is probably going to sort itself out, but curious what y'all think on, just where Texas is ranked in the initial rankings.
The weekly playoff rankings are all fight promotion. They're just trying to get as many eyeballs on big games as possible so that you watch them with a little extra fervor, like, oh, this game obviously matters because now the playoff rankings will do this and the playoff rankings will do that. It's great. I don't discourage anyone from partaking, but the current rankings are completely meaningless. Everything will play out with loads of big season-ending games that'll actually determine everything. So,
I think Ian's right. I think Don King is in that committee. I think he's the one putting stuff together, and I like it. I like that Texas is the first one out because they control their destiny. If they want to get in, they're going to have to beat Georgia and/or Texas A&M. It's right in front of them. And then, like you've described, and we've got some of these more. This is a great stuff from the man Evan Beef. Like, these are elimination games in a sense. And so I kind of like how this all sets up. Hey, the regular season still matters. And now the November really matters as we approach these playoff seedings. I think Texas is in a prime pouncing position. 2 top 10-ish wins over 2 good top 10-ish defenses. Give them one more, and we're going to have a real conversation in a few weeks.
So we'll go to the we'll always do our annual look or annual.
But don't forget, Joe, you forgot to mention Texas is on a bye this week, but bye week ain't never played nobody. So
Never has.
you got to watch that.
They never won. BYU at Tech. This one's interesting. I think when you're talking about the Big 12 and the ACC, because it doesn't look like Notre Dame's going to drop another game, Texas needs the Big 12 and the ACC to both be one-bid leagues. Of course, pending winning out. But this one is a lot of fun just because it's kind of strength on – it's one strength on strength. The big question seems like, is BYU going to find a way to score points?
Utah couldn't. And I was expecting Utah to put up a few points, and they just couldn't at home. I think, doesn't Tech have the number 1 ranked defense in the country?
In some metrics, yeah.
In some metrics, scoring defense, things of that sort. I just know from our experience at covering Texas how BYU can be. They're very mature. They're very old. They've got grown men playing on that side of the ball. They don't make a lot of mistakes. But I think Texas Tech, I think if Morton's healthy, they're just really good this year.
Ian, anything on
Ian's got something for me.
Ian may be frozen.
I don't know.
Not.
Oh, he's just pondering.
That's the thinker. He's pondering.
I don't know that BYU is actually that good.
They're
a solid Big 12 team.
Their defense is real, but their offense I'm not going to play the whole the quarterback wears number 47 thing. I am going to play the whole their quarterback's a true freshman who is told not to lose the game.
They if you look at their home road splits, there is a degree of disparity, I would say. They're winning a lot of close games in general. Usually that does not hold up consistently. If you're good, you're whipping people generally. You don't have to win every game. You don't get in
but wouldn't you say they keep them in fights? Like, that's what Tech is going to have on its hand. It's going to be kind of a fight. But I'm with you. I don't think BYU has like the explosiveness.
What's the point spread? What's the point spread in this game?
I don't even know, but I'm going to guess.
I can tell
Tech
you
minus a touchdown, 6.5.
I think it may be that or bigger, because I don't know if BYU.
I think BYU is scrappy enough to keep it close. I just don't think BYU has the explosiveness to overcome them.
I think Tech might just wipe the beat.
They're going to.
I don't know, man. Arizona State's defense wasn't great, and they hammered them.
They're going to be wiping up the tortillas off the field. Or actually, no, because they're not allowed to throw those.
9-5. Blake says the spread is 9-5,
and I see 10 as well. So,
man, I think Tech wins, but I don't think it's a blowout.
I think it's a blowout.
Let's move on.
It's 11 a.m. in the morning. You know how many grown men are already up at how grown men get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to start their day? BYU is going to be ready for that 11 a.m. kickoff. They've got kids to feed. They've got a yard to mow. They got bills to pay. So they're up early already. They're going to be ready to rip and rock at about 11 a.m. If this was a night game, Tech would have them because, old men, they go to bed early, get about 8:30, get that warm glass of milk, read a little bit of the paper, go lay down, go to bed. An a.m. kickoff actually helps these grown men at BYU. I think it's going to be closer than 10.
I don't know, man. No caffeine.
Wait till you get that main line in the Tech locker room. Hey, what's that machine over there? That's a Diet Coke.
No,
get them. Get the quarters.
Can't have that either. Notre Dame at Pitt. This is next week. Notre Dame has Navy this week, and while man, I would love for that to happen, I don't see it happening. But Pitt could be a little bit of a task for the Irish, and there is no margin for error for Notre Dame on
No.
this.
They lose, they're staying home for the holidays. Pitt's scrappy
With a
Pitt
freshman quarterback.
Yeah, isn't it the Texas kid?
No, it's not Holstein anymore. Well, he may be a Texas kid.
Well, no, they've got to commit from a Texas kid in 2026. The big-time quarterback Riley Dodge's kid at South Lake Carroll, Angelo Renda. He's actually committed to him, but for some reason I thought Pitt had another Texas high school football kid.
They're playing a true freshman named Mason Heinschel, who replaced.
That sounds like a North DFW name, like Grapevine or something.
Here's a place I've never heard of: Oregon, Ohio.
I was about to say that's a Rust Belt German name.
I was about to say, is that close to Miami, Ohio?
It very may well be. But, this is a kid who had Pitt, Akron, Bowling Green, Coastal Carolina, and Kent State. So didn't really get that far.
That means he had Tim Beck. Tim Beck liked him, which means he's got some ability and he's got some skill.
I think, obviously, with Notre Dame being 10, and I'm not sure if anybody saw
Notre Dame can run on anybody.
Nobody saw the college football playing press conference, teleconference. One of the best word salads ever was given in describing Notre Dame as the number 10 team. You're going to see Notre Dame just try to run up the score just to show hey, we lost to Miami by 3 and A&M by 1. So those are our 2 losses, and we beat the dog out of everybody. And there's Texas just straight up, of course, Texas winning out. They need Notre Dame to drop a game just to make things a little bit easier.
Okay, I think you're right there. But also, when does the Miami loss start to hurt them? Because that team is circling the drain. When does another Miami loss start to look at Notre Dame like, man, did that really look as good as we thought it did? I don't know. That was my thing with Notre Dame. How come the Miami loss doesn't look worse?
Notre Dame always get the benefit of the doubt.
Always, 100% national brand. I agree. That was my whole thought I have no problem where Notre Dame's at. I think they're a tremendous team, and I think they can run the football on anybody. And they got the best running backs in the country, period. They got 2 future NFL stars at running back. But when's that Miami loss going to kind of ding them a little bit? Because Miami is, again, doing what Miami does last part of the year, circle the drain.
Here's the issue in that game. Chris Ash has had trouble teaching the Irish how to play zone coverage this year, and Pitt is throwing the ball all over the field. So that's a tough matchup. And then Pat Narduzzi's defense at Pitt is load the effing box. It's that's
how you beat Notre Dame, because Jadarian Price and Jeremiah Love are really, really good.
So I think that's actually a really interesting and tough matchup, because they're going to make CJ Carr make some plays and avoid some mistakes, and I'm
a fan of that kid. I like that kid.
That game, Notre Dame could get themselves into trouble in that game for sure.
We'll keep going in just a second, but before we do, a word from Andre the Lawyer.
Texans know when you're injured, there's one name that gets results: Andre the Lawyer. Trust the team that has secured millions for their clients and helped thousands of Texans win their injury cases. Car wrecks, slip and falls, 18-wheeler accidents, on-the-job injuries, wrongful deaths. Don't let the insurance companies tell you what your claim is worth. Andre the Lawyer will fight for you. His principal office is in Dallas, but they serve Texans throughout the state. So don't wait. Call 214-444-8808. That's 214-444-8808. Contact info is in the description.
All right. We'll get to the standings a little bit, but Evan made an interesting point. Win over Bama here gets Oklahoma in the playoff. They'd only need to go 1-1 against Missouri and LSU, and then they'd have a 9-3 resume better than Texas.
Who wrote? Is that from Evan?
That's from Evan. Evan does keep it real, and I think that's a reality we don't want to have to face.
I mean, honestly, I feel like last year's loss for Bama keeps is on the back of DeBoer's mind. Like they did not play well. Everything kind of went sideways. That I think is going to be a motivational factor because most Saturdays this season, Alabama is really good.
I don't think Evan is right.
I don't either. I don't want to bash Mr. Beef, but I think he's a little off here because even if Oklahoma beats Alabama, they're not going to beat Texas. They're not going to jump Texas when it comes to the rankings.
Yeah, why? There doesn't make sense to say to try to
There's no guarantees, man.
fine tooth comb why Oklahoma's resume would be better. For what reason? To ignore head to head and keep Texas and Arch Manning out of the playoffs? Big Mouse will walk into the room and smack somebody around if they do that. There's no way. Like, what are we talking about, Evan? Evan, that's not how this works. Also, Oklahoma winning in Tuscaloosa. Come on. That's like a big if. That's a huge if clause. That's I mean they've been like skating by a lot of teams.
I will say that was this was something that even before the season, I think a lot of people were like, could 9-3 in this schedule get them in? That this isn't something that is just popping up right now. It has to be the right 9 and it has to be the right 3, but I don't think this is out of the realm of possibility, but I think it's unlikely that 9-3 gets Oklahoma in more than
it's a stretch.
Right.
A lot of other things would have to really go bad for that to, I think, happen.
And then this is fun. Lots going on in the Big Ten.
Jesus.
Like all the Big Ten, the SEC contenders really don't match up with each other. Again, I mean, there's Oklahoma. I mean, Texas kind of has more of the playoff elimination games than anybody else. Basically, all the big teams, and this doesn't even have Ohio State playing Michigan. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Like all the big teams in the Big Ten play each other. And that's going to sort itself out real fast, except for Ohio State and Indiana. But they are going to meet in Indianapolis.
I was about to say, I don't think they all play each other.
Some big butts in that. Some big, quite a qualifier there in the end, Joe.
Yeah. Well, they'll play each other in Indianapolis.
Nothing says Big Ten ball like going to Washington, going to Oregon, going to USC. I mean, times have changed, brother.
Oregon at Iowa. Oregon was also a polarizing team in the rankings because people look at their best win and it's Northwestern on a soccer field or Penn State was. Yeah.
Penn State. Yeah. Everyone's beating Penn State this year, including Penn State.
This is going to be a lot of fun to track just because the
two styles are so contrasting. You got one that want to gun it, spread it out, throw it downfield, get it going. You got Iowa that wants to chew clock, be judicious with their possessions. One has to break. Let's see what they can do in Iowa. That ought to be interesting. USC to me is kind of like it could go either way with them right now. And did y'all hear Josh Pate on with busting with the boys yesterday or the day before? He's here. He all he wanted to drop was Lincoln Riley's name is being heard around the LSU type stuff Florida openings. So I thought that was fascinating.
Is there any truth to the rumor I just invented that Sark could be interested in going back to USC if that job were open?
I doubt it.
Hey,
come back to the place that kicked you to the curb.
Go back to the scene of the crime and just relive it. Yeah, let's just do that. That's what you call a setback.
I think that'd be useful leverage. Although it seems like I think he got what he wanted after the last salvo.
How many Big Ten teams are going to get in the playoff?
3.
Okay. Ohio State will get in.
2 are guaranteed.
Indiana will get in.
Ohio State and Indiana are guaranteed.
And then the best of Oregon and USC is probably in.
So here's something funny. Here's something to look at. They play each other in a couple weeks. USC at Oregon. Is that for that third spot in the Big Ten? Discuss.
Could be. I wouldn't count out Washington. They're two losses to Ohio State and Michigan.
Washington's playing well.
Right now they have 1, 2, 3, 4 teams besides Indiana and Ohio State that could theoretically finish the year with 2 losses or less. I think as many teams in the Big Ten as have 2 losses or less will be in the tournament.
This is a lot of fun. Let me see if I can. And then this is the optimal 9-3 scenario from Evan. Beats A&M, loses to Georgia. Those 2 teams went out. Alabama and Ole Miss went out. Indiana and Ohio State went out. Oregon wins out. Notre Dame loses to Pitt. Big 12 and ACC are one-bid leagues. Virginia and BYU winning the conference championship while losing another regular season game. And then that gets 4 SEC, 3 Big 10, 3 to the ACC, Big 12, and G5.
Isn't Virginia, don't they have to beat SMU to win the ACC?
I can find it, but I think that's somewhere in there.
I don't think Virginia's beating SMU.
All that needs to happen is all that needs to happen. Of course, there's 5 different
It
scenarios.
lines it up for everything. And you know me, I love the BCS. I wish we'd go back to that. Paul had a thread on that at InsideTexas.com. Come see us. It was a lot of fun. I'm a BCS guy. You know why? 2 teams, 1 game. Settle it on the field. Spot the ball and settle it on the field. But, hey, this playoff scenario, you know how I've been anti-adding teams to this kind of stuff because it clutters everything. I think this is a fun year. I think things have lined up to where if you do your job, which is the MO for every team every season, if you can just do your job, you're going to put yourself in a position. I think it's going to make these games in November so much fun. Texas games are going to be so much fun. And then December is just going to be settling and getting everybody ready. And, yeah, I'm in. I like this. I like the way they did it this year.
Before we keep going, got to squeeze in one more real quick ad. Dollar Shave Club. When you rep your team, don't stop at the jersey. Dollar Shave Club's collegiate razor handles combine grooming with glory, letting students, grads, and fans show their school spirit and style. From the sink to the stadium, shave with school pride. Visit dollarshaveclub.com today and grab your college razor handle and hook them.
I just changed my I use Dollar Shave Club. I just changed my order to try the 2-blade ones because sometimes those spots way up here or right here are hard to get. I'm gonna try the 2-blade and see if that gets in there a little easier.
You always been a 1-blade guy?
No, I've been a 3 or 4-blade guy.
I was about to say, you started shaving when we met.
No. No.
Joe hasn't even done it yet, and he was able to grow a little mustache last November, which I'm really, really disappointed he didn't do that again this year. Very.
You're a crowd of one there.
I know a mom that's probably decided on that one.
Couple questions, Sailor Joe. Can we expect Sark to stick with 11 personnel? Has anybody run against that against Georgia, and how'd that fare?
Yeah, definitely. Most teams live in 11 personnel, so that's not going to be new for Georgia. Can we expect Sark? The question too, can we expect Sark to stick with ... That's
one of these.
No, we don't really know exactly what he's thinking. We've not been able to fully understand what he's thinking at any point this season. So, no. Maybe.
They'll try.
They'll do it some. We don't know if they're going to live in it like they did or if Sark will be like,
yeah, because scoring 34 points in the first 2.5 quarters against Vanderbilt was, man, come on, man.
And then
Sark hates to be the tendency guy. He wants to be the ultimate anti-tendency guy, but don't overthink the room.
And then this one, Justin, from our guy Chris Bennett, how big was the latest decommit? Schrodinger's decommit for about 24 hours, and Dylan Berryman finally does leave the class. He's a good player, but Texas is still looking at some other defensive tackle targets with 3 others already in the class.
Did you make a Schrodinger's cat reference?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Do we know if he's dead or not? We choose to think so. How big was the latest decommit? He was probably about 330, 325, 330 pounds. Berryman was a big kid. He was an anchor, one of those anchor kids on the offensive line, more of a Brevard, maybe Travis Shaw type. Yeah, about 330, 325, 330. That's how much he weighed. Texas has their eyes on a bigger fish right now. And if you've been at Inside Texas the last week or so, you've noticed we've talked about a certain 5-star defensive end out of Edna Carr that will be in Austin in the next few weeks with his teammate and fellow LSU commit Aiden Hall. I'm actually going to have a post probably a couple minutes after the show is over detailing the LSU commits that Texas is targeting and where their relationships are right now, especially with Bryson Martinez setting up an official visit in 2 weeks and of that sort. So that's something you want to check out at inside.com, Inside Texas. We covered a little bit more for you, Chris. It's not a big one. I hate to say this, but I feel like this was processed. And the reason why is because there is a 6'4", 350-pound 5-star defensive tackle that is going to be hitting campus pretty soon.
I'm going to go see a couple local 4-stars tomorrow night. Sark does not seem super interested in.
Talk to me.
Bastrop has Tiki
Hala. They used to like it. Look, they used to love Tiki. They just loved James Johnson and Rodney Cleveland and some of these others a lot more. But I'm a big Hala fan. I think Notre Dame was it Notre Dame that stole him?
Yeah,
because I know SMU was trying to get him late. I'm a big Hala fan. Like I think he's a kid that should be in this program.
He looks like a Notre Dame kind of guy.
He does. Or USC. Looks like a USC D lineman, really.
Well, sure. They like the smaller, faster guys. He's not huge. I saw him in person.
He's not, but he's active.
But and then at Liberty Hill has Alistair Vallejo, who's going to Michigan.
Yeah, they have zero interest in him.
Yeah,
but you're right. Those are 2 4-star local defensive linemen. I think if they couldn't get Jamian Winfield out of DFW, they're just going to go fishing in Georgia and Florida again. That's in the Southeast region. They go to Mississippi. Oh, let's grab this kid from Alabama because we're going to take him out of Alabama's commitment list. Like, yeah, I'm with you. 2 kids that are local. Those are going to be good. That's going to be I'm curious to hear what you say about those guys.
Yep. Ian, watch Bastrop's quarterback, Weston Nielsen. He's got some Power 5 offers, 2027.
Yeah, he has an offer from shoot. I was just looking at this earlier. Somebody big was on him.
Arizona State, I think.
Oh, I think he's committed to Arizona State.
He's either committed or
they've got a quarterback in that, and Jake Fett already for Arizona State in that class. I don't know where he's committed, but I actually Joe and I met him a few times because he'd come through on visits as a freshman and as a sophomore. Always a real tall, skinny kid, good kid. Talking about quarterbacks, Texas's AJ Milwee is supposed to go see Ty Knutson from Smithson Valley. Smithson Valley. I think maybe they're playing. No, they're not playing Spring Branch. It's from Smithson Valley. He's actually going to go check him out. But I don't expect any movement from 2027 quarterbacks till January, February.
All right, let's do it. Our weekly look through the actual SEC games. Show me something, Missouri. And it's going to be tough because they are down 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah, man.
It's going to be real tough against that Aggie defense, but
Texas A&M's going to, they're going to claim it as, look at this big win. And it's like, buddy, you're playing 3rd-string quarterback.
Georgia and Mississippi State. Mississippi State played them real close last year. This game's at 11 a.m. in Starkville. And, Georgia coming off a win over Florida, but I'm not sure how much the Bulldogs really have here.
Which Bulldogs?
It took me a second to realize what I was saying there.
Hey, Rebel, Joe's talking about you. It's one of those, crazy stuff can happen in Cowbell Stadium, but I maybe Georgia overlooks Jeff Lebby's crew awaiting Texas and Athens in a couple weeks, maybe. All I know is it's probably going to be close for 3.5 quarters. Then Georgia will force a few turnovers, make a maybe big play or so, and separate at the end. It's this next one that it's got Lane Kiffin tossing and turning at night.
Who do they have on the other side of this?
Who does say again?
Who does Ole Miss have on the other side of this SEC bye?
Nothing really that daunting. Florida at home, Mississippi State on the road, with a bye week in between Florida and Mississippi State.
This will be a game where we get to see 3 quarterbacks from Kiffin, just so he can say he played 3 quarterbacks.
This is the week where Lane Kiffin will be doing his interviews.
Yeah. One thing about Georgia is when they played Tennessee put some points up, and that's the style of offense that Mississippi State uses as well. I think Mississippi State's wide receivers they're of high quality. I don't know if they're Chris Braziel, but
they're 2 Texas high school football kids that if you don't cover them, they'll beat you. Anthony Evans and Brendan Thompson. If you're on them, you're good. If you're not, they'll beat you.
And then Citadel at Ole Miss, they didn't even give a line for it. A&M at Missouri, again, 2 quarterbacks down for the Tigers. A&M by 7 seems pretty that seems like an easy pick for me.
A&M should double that. They're playing with a ton of confidence right now, guys. A ton of confidence.
Ian, is there anything that the Missouri defense might do that Texas could replicate?
Well, in general, you want to keep Marcel Reed in front of your defensive line. And if you can do that, it's like Jekyll and Hyde with the Texas A&M offense. When he gets out in space, throwing to those speedy receivers they have, it's as terrifying as any offense in the country. It's elite athleticism.
And that tight end.
If you keep Reed in front of your pass rushers, then he's panics. He doesn't know what to do. He throws the ball away. He throws the ball to your team. We'll see. We'll see if Missouri is capable of getting which one is the one we want to face? Do we want to face mild-mannered Jekyll or crazy Mr. Hyde? Which one's the bad one? I don't actually.
Hyde is the crazy one.
Yeah, right.
Oh, who's the
How
bad
does that
one?
translate to football? I don't know. We'll see what happens if Missouri can get the I don't know, Jekyll. He's not very threatening as Jekyll.
If there's a prop bet for Ahmad Hardy rushing attempts, I would take the over. I don't know if that exists.
He's a bulldozer, man.
But that's where A&M's, they're a great team.
They just haven't played any offenses that really scare you.
Another thing interesting is A&M had no idea how to fit outside zone against Texas last year. And Missouri loves to run that scheme. So this could be a good barometer for whether A&M has solved that problem or not. And if they have not, you can better believe Sark will notice it.
If I'm Mizzou, I put on the Arkansas tape because the Hogs found holes.
Seems like a few teams have.
Hogs are good on offense.
They are. It's not necessarily traditional, but they've got some guys.
And Blake Bryan brings this up. There's some good pass rushers on that Missouri team. Damon Wilson's one. Is Williams Nwaneri?
I think he's there, but I'm not sure how effective he's been this year. But they've recruited really well, and they've recruited well, and they've developed really well.
So Arkansas's got a good offense, but they look like a Big 12 team of yesteryear.
Good.
Auburn at Vanderbilt. Quarterback change, head coach change, play caller change, a lot of change for Auburn, and that makes me feel like they're going to drop to 1-6.
It depends. Is his family going to show their behind in the stands again, or is this going to be a mild-mannered Saturday afternoon? That to me is the differentiator with Vanderbilt. If Pavia's family shows up and starts raising all kinds of hell again, I like Auburn and DJ Durkin. I like him to come in there and punch him in the mouth. We know how Durkin rolls. But if if Pavia is kind of chilled out a little bit, I know he got his ears lowered in Austin. I like Vandy.
Auburn's got a good enough defense to do a lot of what Texas did through 3
Yes. Up front, they are solid, Joe.
But how hard is this team playing?
Usually the week after,
Kentucky might risk their life. You better play hard.
I bet they play hard. Usually the first week after a coach is fired, the team plays hard.
Yes. For about a half.
Yeah.
And they're going to change quarterbacks again. I think it's Ashton Daniels, right?
It is.
Yeah, who plays
I'm
quarterback?
shocked they haven't gone to Deuce Knight, but I think they're keeping that Deuce Knight card for the next guy.
He may be not very good yet. Also, this is another.
Well, he's just a freshman. He's just a freshman.
Could be one of those 5 stars I talked about. That's Mr. Theoretical, and then he has no idea what. Like Jackson Arnold before him.
Yeah, I think that's a very good way of putting it. LSU at Bama. Surprise, you can pencil and actually write this one in ink. It being a night game. Don't mess up, Bama. That's kind of the long and short of it.
There's a lot of quit in Baton Rouge right now, guys.
Is Nussmeier playing?
I feel like he plays 2.5, 3 quarters a game. He gets dinged up, comes back in, makes 3 or 4 NFL throws, just phenomenal throws, and then the rest you don't know.
This feels like a trap game for Alabama.
It does in a sense because they do have that rivalry. They have played some of the best games in the last 10 or 15 years. I just think LSU, if you get up on LSU early, they're going to quit. There is a lot of quit in that program. If it stays close, you're going to have one of those old-fashioned, maybe low-scoring Alabama-LSU battles.
Ryan Williams was probable. The Weeks
He hadn't played a
brothers,
whole lot this year.
Whit Weeks questionable, Zach Weeks doubtful. So I'm
Whit
not
Weeks
sure.
isn't coming back until Kiffin takes the job.
Justin, do you think that's going to happen?
Probably.
No, he's going to the Jets. Remember?
Oh yeah, your source.
He'll go to the Jets and make $10 million less a year.
Yeah,
And
Nobody's going to work for Woody Johnson. Nobody, not even Mrs. Johnson.
Get to draft a quarterback.
They have 4 first-round picks in the next draft too.
Last but not least, but maybe least, Florida at Kentucky. I think both of these programs are going to be looking forward to basketball season if they aren't already.
Great call.
And then B, both these programs may have an interim coach this time next week. Yeah, I know.
No, I'm with you. Like, you've got me on the basketball bit. Like, these 2 schools, these are basketball schools at this point. And so, yeah, I think they're looking forward to March or Midnight Madness and all that fun stuff. This will be a game where, Kentucky fights. Kentucky doesn't really get blown out. Like, they're going to stay in it. But is Lagway going to dial it up? How much is Florida still actually putting into this? When you fire your coach in the middle of the year, it's just so inconsistent on what you're going to get the final 3 or 4 or 5 games of that season.
And they think that's hard versus Georgia.
You think that could be where Lincoln Riley is looking?
Florida?
Yeah.
Go against what we kind of know about him.
No, it does. What we think we know, I agree.
What do we know about him? They would say he wouldn't go to Florida.
He likes easy paths to the playoffs and gets upset when those paths are cut off.
He'll have more talent in Gainesville than he will in LA.
But he's got to beat Georgia and Ole Miss and
probably
Tennessee.
Texas.
I don't know.
And that's a little bit of a fish out of water too.
Is it?
Is it? I feel like LA is more of a fish out of water.
Yeah, I feel like LA was out of his realm. Coming back home to the South was kind of where he's from.
Well, but he also recruited LA pretty damn well when he was at
Well,
Oklahoma.
that's because they had 3 or 4 quarterbacks over 3 or 4 cycles that were the best in the country, and that was, Riley at that point was recruiting the top quarterback every year. I mean, Caleb Williams was a DC kid, but man, he screamed California. He talked to him for 2 minutes. You think he's a West Coaster.
My thing is, my prediction on the carousel this year is that Kiffin doesn't leave unless it's for the Jets or an NFL team.
He's not going to the NFL. He's not going. Do you remember? You do remember he coached there before?
Yeah, but he had Al Davis.
They don't go back.
He had Al Davis as his owner.
They don't go. Yeah, they don't go back.
That's
Nick Saban proved everyone wrong. Proved it all. He's the theory. Saban's like, hey guys, I made a mistake because I tried to dog cuss these NFL players like I do my college players, and they tried to whoop my butt. So I can't do this again.
Maybe it was Muschamp doing that, but they almost made the playoffs. It wasn't a disaster like Urban was. So, Ian, what's coming out on the deep dive later today?
We're going to talk about the dominant play of Ethan Burke and Colin Simmons against Vanderbilt in particular, although they've been on a tear recently. And then we're going to explain with a couple of breakdowns why that did not manifest in a dominant pass defense performance against Vanderbilt. We're going to do I believe the 2 Eli Stowers touchdowns are the ones that get special all-22 attention. So we'll explain all the things that went wrong on those 2 plays.
Yay.
Hey, David Williams, I got that answer for you at InsideTexas.com. It's a good answer, too. It's juicy with details. Come see us at InsideTexas.com right now. If you join right now, it's only $1. And I'm telling you, this is the absolute best time. I know I say that every time, but this is the time that I mean it. We've got playoff talk. We've got bye week talk. We've got so much recruiting. Sark and those guys are amping up the 2026 class, trying to finish that off strong. Guys, you got to come see us at InsideTexas.com right now. Let us earn your business. And one little note on a sad note. Rest in peace, Marshall Nealon. Dallas Cowboys outside linebacker defensive end was found dead late last night, early this morning. Really, really sad. This was a guy that had a block punt and touchdown in a game on Monday night against Arizona. He had finally got healthy, like a great teammate. That was the worst part of waking up this morning. 24 years old. I don't want to talk about how it potentially happened.
We'll leave it at that. Thank you for watching IT Live, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors.